All right, we've made it to lesson 2, and we're going to talk all about how to teach using a remote learning path. So with distance learning, you don't get to call your kids to the carpet, you don't get to talk to them and teach them in person, and you don't get to show examples on the whiteboard, but you still have to teach them. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how you're going to use video to replicate yourself and teach your students. So there are 2 main types of videos that you can use to teach your students in a remote learning environment, and that is through the use of pre-made videos, which are great for teaching new content, and we also have self-made videos, which they're also great for teaching new content, probably even better than ones you find, but they're also great for explaining things, giving directions or extra information. So what we're going to do is look at both of the different pre-made videos and self-made videos and see how we can use those inside of our learning path to make our remote learning happen. So the first one we have, and we're going to talk about, is pre-made videos. So pre-made videos come from YouTube, and there are millions to choose from. Just go to YouTube, search for it, and make sure you watch it and make sure it's appropriate and that it is actually what you want to be teaching your students. But there are lots of good ones to choose from. We're going to take that YouTube video and embed it right in a Google slide so that students don't have to leave their learning path in order to watch the video and learn from it. We're also going to see how we can include like an area for students to take notes or to even answer questions that you ask them to guide them as they're learning through their video. So what we're going to do is stop right now and look at the plan that we made and what plan we have for teaching, and then we're going to go start a learning path and start building it and showing you it and actually building on this teach component to it. All right, so let's look back at our plan really quickly. Okay, so here's our plan. Under the teach column, we have a video that I found on YouTube about teaching symmetry, and then I also have that I wanted to include some symmetrical vocabulary words, a few vocabulary words. Okay, so let's go and start creating our actual learning path. That is what we're going to give our students to learn. So remember, our learning path is going to be created in Google Slides. So just go to slides.google.com and you can just start a new one. And here I kind of got it set up. So remember in our last lesson, we talked about our plan and our structure. So this is kind of how our structure is started. So I just tell the students today is Monday, I give them their objective, and I tell them specifically what they're going to be doing today in order to learn that objective. So they have 3 actions today based on the plan that we made earlier. They were going to watch the video and complete some vocabulary. They were going to complete a worksheet, and then they were going to do some task cards for a self-assessment. So I've started the learning path by really getting the structure going. Now what I want to do is start teaching the students, and I'm going to use a video to do that. So I found the video on YouTube and I pasted the link here. So I'm just going to copy the link from my plan and I'm going to go back, and instead of pasting the link so that the student has to go to YouTube to watch it, we're going to embed that video right onto the slide. So how you do that is click Insert and we're going to click Video. Make sure you're on the tab that says by URL and then just paste that there. It's going to bring up the video that I want students to watch. Remember, they're learning about symmetry, so this video is about symmetry. And there is the video for them to watch. You can make it larger or smaller, or you can make it fit a certain space. So I want the students to watch the video and learn from it, but another part of the teaching was I wanted them to learn the new vocabulary words that go with this skill. So in order to do that, all I'm going to do is insert a text box, and I'm going to tell them exactly what to do. Find the definitions for the following new vocabulary words. Okay, and so I think that was line of symmetry. There was a vertical, horizontal, can't remember them all, but basically I'm providing a place for the students to write their new definitions that they learned while they're watching the video. You could also include a special space for students to take notes. So you could just, again, create a text box and then just put notes. And then you can help the students by showing them what to do there. Type your notes here. So now you've offered them some solid teaching. There's a video for them to watch. There is an activity for them to do that holds them accountable to actually watching the video. And then you can also hold them accountable to watching it by having them take notes on what they learned. So this is one example of how you can use pre-created videos inside of your learning path to teach your students remotely. So let's go back and look at the other one, the self-created video. Okay, so we talked about pre-made videos that you can use, but now let's talk about self-made videos, because these are probably the best kind of videos because you can teach it exactly how you would teach it yourself instead of relying on how someone else would teach it. So self-made videos are created through programs like Screencastify. Screencastify is my favorite. It's easy to use, it's free. It syncs automatically with your Google Drive. It gives you a link automatically. It's so easy and convenient. So I love Screencastify, and you can embed it into your Google Slide just like you could the YouTube files. You can also use it alongside other programs online, like one called Awe App. It's a digital whiteboard that you can write on. So if you have a touch screen, it works perfectly. If you don't, you can use your mouse, or you can even buy a cheap tablet. I have this one. It's called a Wacom, and it just plugs in to your phone, to your computer with a USB, and it has a pen that you can use. And so it makes it really easy to create your own instructional videos. So I'm going to show you that in just a second. But you can also use your own videos and add to it, make it better by using some guiding questions and helping walk students through what they should do. So I'm going to show you Awe App, and then we're going to create a teacher created video that we're going to put into our learning path. Okay, so this is Awe App. You can see it's just a digital whiteboard. It has some colors and some different options you can do, but basically you just use it like you would a whiteboard in your class. So as you're recording your videos, you can do examples and show students and walk them through. So let's look at our learning path. Let's go back to it. So we did our slide with our video, and now we're on a third slide. To get that slide, all I did was click slide, new slide, and it brought up a new slide, and I pasted on this worksheet. Now this is the worksheet that in my plan I decided students would use. However, this worksheet was actually created to be printed and used with a pencil, and so I need to show the students how they're going to complete this without paper and pencil. So I'm going to use a video to do that. So I'm clicking on my Screencastify icon. If you don't have Screencastify and you need to download it, that's going to be one of the additional videos that I make and send. So you might want to make sure that you subscribe to that email list so that you'll get that. So basically all I'm going to do is click record, and then I am going to share click one and share it. Okay, down here it says that it's about to record in 3 minutes, 3, 2, 1. So it won't let me record my Screencastify while I'm recording this video. So I'm going to stop this video and then record my Screencastify. Okay, so now I'm recording in Screencastify, and I'm showing you a little bit extra, but normally you would just start with your video on what you want to teach your students. So basically, I want them to do this. So I'm just going to pretend like I'm talking to students so you can see what a student created video would look like, even though it's going to be kind of embarrassing. Okay, here goes. All right, students, for this activity, you're supposed to draw as many lines of symmetry on each figure as possible. So instead of drawing, we are going to use a line tool to make the lines, our lines of symmetry. So how you're going to do that is you're going to click Insert, and then you're going to click Line, and you're going to click Line. Okay, so now that you have the line tool going, all you have to do is click where you want your line to start, drag it, and then let go where you want your line to end. So we have one line of symmetry for this triangle. Okay, so you get the idea. And now when you're done, all you have to do is click Stop Sharing. Okay, so now you can see that my video is uploading. It's actually playing right now. I can press pause. The sound goes off automatically, but you can turn it back on. And so this is my video. you can title it, let's call it worksheet, okay? Worksheet 1, how creative.
Castify.
Oh, there
and
it goes.
I'm showing you a little bit.
Okay, so you heard me there. And so here is the video. And notice over here it says copy shareable link. It's really important with links when you're working with Google that your links are shareable, because Google has privacy like other things, and it doesn't assume that you want other people to be able to open your files. So you always want to get the shareable link so that you can share it with your students. So I'm going to click copy shareable link, and this has automatically been saved into my Google Drive. If I go into my Drive, I can see it that it makes a file called Screencastify. Here it is. And when you go in there, you'll see that it's already there. See how it says worksheet 1? You can't see it yet because it does take a while for it to process, but it definitely is there. So when I click copy this link, notice it's copied, and then I can use that link just like I did with a YouTube link. So I'm going back to the slide, and I want to give the students the instructions to watch right on the slide so they know how to complete the activity. So I'm going to click Insert Video, and then click on Google Drive, and then you go get it from your Google Drive. So I'm going to click Worksheet 1 and select. Okay, now it's still processing. It's taking a while for it to process. And so see how it says we're processing this video, please check back later. After a while, it will appear. And if for some reason it doesn't, just try again later. But it does take a little bit of time for processing. So here you can see so far, we have used a YouTube video, and now we have used a teacher-made video as well to give students extra instructions. So using videos is a very important part of remote learning, and that's because you are the expert. You're the one who is going to show the students, give them examples, and help them to know what to do and to be on the right track. All right, our next lesson that we're going to go to is we've talked about the teach. Now we're going to move into the practice component, how we can give students things to practice. And so stay tuned for lesson number 3.